Video tonight because I am so tired and it is, I don't know my watch on. I think it's 11:30. It's actually a post-writing video because I just wanted to just jump in and get typed up what I wrote on my lunch break today. Yesterday I got quite a bit done, which was awesome. I feel like I caught up on what I wanted to do. I actually got through scene 5 and 6, and then I also managed to put into scene 6 what I wanted to put in scene 7, because I just felt like it flowed better rather than having like a break, like a pause. I was like, well, if this character just comes into the scene and has these conversations in this location with these characters rather than having it a different location and having a whole new setup, it is also easier for if it's potentially performed. One scene I'd written quite straight in my approach to it. I had made it quite a serious in that it was just development, plot development.
Yes, I'm not allowed to be frivolous.
Oh my god, that was so freaky. Shut up, serious. Yeah, it wasn't dramatic serious, but it was serious. And then I came up with this idea where I'm like, oh my gosh, how funny would it be if I made the characters drunk in this scene? And like what was quite a boring scene becomes quite comedic almost. Yeah, not laugh off your, fall off your seat laughing kind of funny, but just kind of tickles you. It just flowed so well with the way I had just accumulated scene 7 into scene 6. So I feel like for the price of 2, I got 3, which made me really happy. So now I'm on to scene 7, which is what I planned for scene 8. And I've written, I'm gonna go ahead and say I've written about halfway, which is cool because I'm gonna go back to my storyboard. All my post-its are falling off, which is really annoying. This glue. This is what happens when you get cheap post-its. The glue just does not last. But you can see that we were crossing the threshold, and now we're at like the tests, allies and enemies. You know, like who is on Diana's side, who is really on her side, and who is the real antagonist here. Mark, his name's Mark, the character, but she's like starting to figure that out. She's not fully there yet, but she's starting to see some cracks in the relationship. That went really well. My husband read it and he thought, Tris read it and he thought that it was really solid, so yay. I'm not hugely happy with the actual flow of the dialogue. Like I think it can get tightened up, but one thing I started to notice was at the end of scene 6, by the time I was getting to like halfway through scene 6, I developed such a rhythm with my dialogue, just making the sentences shorter, less wordier. I tend to just put too many words in, so that by the end of scene 6 I really felt like, yeah, I don't know how else to put it. I had just had this great momentum, and then going into it tonight again after that, it was still there. I think I'm past excitement. I think I'm at proud. I'm really proud. I'm proud of the progress that I made, because I got so much more done than I thought I would in such a short time frame. So now it's just a case of keeping up with that, and it's really hard when I've just got so much to do and I've got to balance all my lifestyle with, you know, writing, which it feels like I almost need a warm-up to start. Like some days I get into it and I'm just like, I get up from my computer probably 5 times in 10 minutes. So that's almost like every 2 minutes I get up to go do something, and then I come back and I write 5 words, and then I'm like, get up. And then after that initial 10 minutes, I've built up enough momentum to just stick with it, and like I'm like buzzing around ideas, and then I'll like hit a halt where I'm like, I don't know where to take this conversation anymore, and I'll get up and I'll go get a drink, or I'll go do something and then I'll come back like a minute later. I don't leave for huge amounts of time, but I leave for, I get up. It might trigger something in the brain, and usually it does. It's been really good. So tick for process knowledge that I have now. That is one thing that I've learned. So yep, and also that I need a warm-up. I know those things now. I know that I need about 10 minutes just to get that rhythm, that momentum, get back into that world. I feel like my one downfall every time I come back is that I want to make the dialogue elaborate, and like in my head I'm like, oh, this sounds like Oscar Wilde, but in reality it's just bullshit, and it's too much. It's too frivolous. It's a frivolous like overuse of verbiage, if you will. That is all I have to say for today. It is going really, really well, and I have learnt a couple of things about my process. So I will leave it there. Have a good night.